Hi everyone, this is Hero from the Birds back with another Shadowlands video. I'm continuing my thoughtful engagement with Venthyr Windwalker Monk, which just as a disclaimer, nothing in this video is to say that Venthyr Monk is superior in Mythic Plus AoE or any of these things than the other options. I just want to kind of look at, practically speaking, what's it like to play this, what are some of the nuances of it. So in this video, I want to focus in on the Serenity window. And just as an aside, the reason why we're considering using Serenity is because Venthyr does not have access to chi reductions during its burst window portion, i.e. spinning crane kick's always going to cost 2 chi for us, which is a significant detriment compared to other approaches. Meaning if we're using Storm, Earth, and Fire with Whirling Dragon Punch, we have to build up to 6 like everybody else, but then we don't get the benefit during the burst window of having a number of spins back to back to back to back. So that's one challenge that Venthyr has to think about when it's doing its planning and its gameplay. The second one, though, is the Mark of the Crane stacks. So as you know, as a monk, when we come up to it and we kick, we get Mark of the Crane, which is going to boost our AoE damage. That's well known and understood. One thing that's interesting about what Venthyr offers is all of the monks that you summon, including if you're using the legendary, the extra monk that you get, are going to manually apply Mark of the Crane now with one of their kicks. And this happens sequentially over the course of the summoning for each of these monks, so you can get 5 Marks of the Crane. But one thing I've found in testing, and I'll just show you here so you can see it. I'm attacking this. I'm just going to use an ability to make sure they actually hit this thing. So this monk applied Mark of the Crane to the target I'm currently on, and I don't see any other Mark of the Cranes being applied by any other monks. In fact, what you see is each new monk coming in and refreshing the debuff on the target that I have selected. So this interaction is what makes Venthyr Serenity very interesting to me, because essentially what we have is the ability for our Covenant to supply Mark of the Crane, but you have to tab after each Mark of the Crane application goes out from one of your monks so that the next monk in line will do his application on a new target. So while we're used to, as a monk, pressing Storm with Fire, hitting Tiger Palm to build 3 stacks immediately, and maybe tab target to get to 5 right away. In Venthyr, we have that built into the kit of the Venthyr conduit, or excuse me, of the Venthyr Covenant. And this is kind of interesting stuff. So if you're using Storm with Fire, like we're playing Whirling Dragon Punch, we can overlap this effect. If we press our Storm with Fire and our Venthyr Covenant, the next thing that we hit with Tiger Palm, yeah, that'll give us 3 stacks for the 2 the other guys were slamming on, but all of the Venthyr monks that come in, they are going to start to apply their stacks to whichever target I'm hitting. So Venthyr has this dual problem of you still have to build up stacks if you're not playing Serenity, and everything that you're hitting, every monk that comes in is going to reduplicate the effect. Now, obviously, having a longer buff of Mark of the Crane is fine in long AoE, but you can game this interaction by using Serenity and simply doing your Fist of Fury rotation alongside spin and just tab target manually without changing your rotation. So you're never pressing a kick, either Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick to generate Mark of the Crane. Instead, you're just changing your target so that your Venthyr buddies, your Fallen Order guys, will do that. And so I'm going to try to demonstrate that in a few seconds when this comes back off. But I also want to talk about rotationally what we should be doing within the Serenity window. So I tested out a number of approaches in AoE, i.e. do we focus on Fist of Fury and go Fist of Fury right away and then Blackout Kick as much as possible, maybe tab targeting to get Mark of the Crane going in order to get back to Fist of Fury? Do we Fist of Fury, spin once, tab target, Blackout Kick, spin again, tab target, blackout kick to try to keep our mastery going so that every single spin is fine. What's going to work here? Well, in my findings, we never really, unless you had insane haste procs, you're never going to get 3 Fists of Fury within our Serenity window. Now, I mean, obviously, if we play the legendary and fire off a Zuen, there might be enough haste there with Lust conditions to get multiple ones, and so maybe in some freak circumstance you would Fist of Fury, you get enough blackout kicks to get it back. But ideally, you're only really going to get 2 Fists of Fury off in the middle of your Serenity window. So one at the beginning and one right at the tail end as it's finishing off. And it seems it's ideal actually just to spin in that window. And with this mechanic of your Venthyr monks, your Fallen Order monks, applying Mark of the Crane, you are naturally avoiding all of that setup in the opener. You can just go Venthyr monks into Serenity. Obviously, if we have Tiger up, we do it as well to burst the damage. And then you use 6 abilities. You do Fist of Fury, 4 Crane kicks, Fist of Fury. One caveat, maybe it's better to save mastery. In fact, it probably is. So if you get a Chi-Ji proc, we throw in a blackout kick to cool down Fist of Fury and then send our Chi-Ji proc off before we do our last Fist of Fury. But it looks something like this. You saw the first example where I stayed on one target and every single monk applied Chi-Ji. We're just going to open like this, go with Fist of Fury right away, and then spin. And as soon as we get a proc of Chi-Ji, we're going to switch targets so that these guys will apply something. And all we're doing is spinning in the middle of this. And as you can see, we got our 2 Fists of Fury. We got our 4 spins off. We even got a Chi-Ji proc there, which meant it wasn't too bad. And then we just tab target around, and these guys are going to work. So you can see here, I'm in 230 eye level, so it's nothing really special, and 5 targets. This will scale insanely well, as you guys have all seen with all of the Covenants in large pulls. And we put, I don't know, 30k out, maybe 32k. The point is, guys, it's really important for you to manage Mark of the Crane stacks no matter what Covenant you are. But Venthyr has this special ability to make use of another source of Mark of the Crane. And I just appeal to you, make sure when you send your Fallen Order guys out that you are tab targeting every time one of them applies Crane, because that's going to allow you to free you up to just spin, and you're automatically getting the benefit of that. Now, should we not be breaking mastery? Like, what's the deal there? I think in general, like with most of the approaches, after you've got your 5 stacks out, you never care about breaking mastery. But within the Serenity window, I think it's even more important, given that we have a limited number of buttons to press. You only get like 6 buttons, maybe 7 if you have a lot of haste. What are the most important ones to press? It comes down to 2 Fists of Fury and 4 Chi-Jis, and the mastery isn't going to adjust that much better. In AoE, those are the buttons that do the most damage. Just press them. But I hope that helps, guys. This idea specifically of tabbing, but not kicking yourself, allowing your Fallen Order monks to apply Mark of the Crane. I hope that nuance maybe helps you think through playing this very interesting version of Windwalker. Again, disclaimer, I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying I'm having a blast testing it out and checking out some of the practical implications. Hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you again next time. Bye.